Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name NURMASTURINA SYAHIRAH binti MOKHTAR and my ID number is 2020844056. And for my part, I would like to introduce what is actually Ar-Rahnu. So, Ar-Rahnu, or better known as Islamic pawnbroking, can be defined as a method of providing short-term financing loan to a person by pounding the gold to the bank or pawn shop as a security. So, Islamic pawn shop has been introduced in Malaysia in the year 1992, or specifically at the date 23 January 1992. The first government who introduced this pawn shop is actually at the Terengganu. So the first shop named as Gadaian Islam, Muasasa Gadaian Islam Terengganu. As the objective of this pawn shop is actually to help a poor people to get a short-term loan by pounding the gold as a collateral. In Islam, is known as a Ar-Rahnu. The concept of the Ar-Rahnu also can be named as a mortgage, pledge or collateral. Until now, this concept is still being applied in the Islamic financial industry in Malaysia.
To Bank Negara's policy, the introduction of Islamic banking products through a window in a conventional financial institution is permitted. However, conventional banks need to establish Sharia Advisor Board if they desire to launch or introduce Islamic banking product in their respective institution. Bank to make sure all the Islamic financial product comply with Sharia requirement. It is Sharia Advisor roles to control and monitor the activity. Internal Audit, SSD, Internal Sharia Reviewer, and the Audit and Governance Committee are the different entities that hold responsibility to review and audit whether those institutions follow the Sharia guidelines or not, while external auditor that hold responsibility to make an independent judgment on the issue of compliance need to rely heavily on the SSB's fatwa because of their lack of competence. As an external mechanism that needs to monitoring compliance, it is unethical and will fail to make an independent judgment. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is ATIKAH and my ID number is 2020455802. I will be presenting recommendation for lack of Sharia monitoring on the Ar-Rahnu transaction issue. My recommendation is by establishing a special governance model for Ar-Rahnu supervision. This model is taken from a research article by Nur Hafillah, Salmi Edawati and Asia, which is the illustration of the model emphasizes the concept of dynamic governance formed with the involvement of the government, private and non-government sector that should be implemented in order to create a dynamic and effective Ar-Rahnu governance system in Malaysia. Based on the model, there are three categories included. For the first category is government agency responsible as regulators and policymaker on Ar-Rahnu activities. There are two layers of supervision. The first one is agency that regulates Ar-Rahnu activity, and the second layer is agencies that supervise institutions that implement Ar-Rahnu activities. The first layer event will be held by the Ministry of Finance as certified by the Federal Constitution, while the second layer event will be held by the BNM, SKM, SSM, and agency under state networks such as MAIN. The Central Regulatory Agency, which is BNM, SKM, as I mentioned earlier, they will be assisted by the institution under second and third category, while the second category will be representing private institution and the third category will be representing NGOs based on their expertise. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alia binti Abdullah and I will be explaining the second issue, which is the determination of fees of the safekeeping of goods in the practice of Ar-Rahnu. Okay, fees imposed for the storage of valuable items can be charged daily, monthly or annually. It is charged like that because it does not have clear stipulation in the terms of the period that can be charged. Currently, the custody fee is based on the percentage of the value or almarhun, the pledged items. Custody fee cannot be calculated based on almarhun B, which is the amount borrowed, because it can lead to syubhat and riba. Therefore, the charges imposed are based on the value of the goods pledged.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NURSABRINA ARIFA binti Muhammad Haris, and now I will be presenting about the recommendation of solution for the issue of custody fee. Currently, custody fee is in the form of percentage of the value of al-marhun, which is the pledged item. The custody fee cannot be calculated based on al-marhun. Why? Because it will lead and it can lead to syubhah and riba. So how to solve this? So the solution of this issue is the Qardul Hasan's contract has been changed into a tawarruk contract, which is the commodity murabahah, and this can help to avoid the syubhah and riba from happening.
The third issue is types of goods that can be mortgaged or pawned. In Malaysia, the items that can be pledged are limited to gold, like gold pieces of jewellery like bracelet, necklace and ring. This has been limited to the flexibility of Ar-Rahnu operations. In another country, land can be mortgaged, but in Malaysia, it cannot be done. This is because of ownership. Malaysian land law is bound by the concept of paying respect to whom registered, or in other words, inviolability of title and the registration of the land. Land is subject to the ownership of name registered on the land grant and cannot be simply be pawned. If it can be easily pawned, new problems will occur. It will give rights to those taking advantage of the land grant that does not belong to them.
Hello and good day. I'm the SHAHRIZAL, student ID 2020-995-167, and I'm going to present about the recommendation of type of goods that can be mortgaged. So, as per previous issue, the pledged items are only limited to gold and jewelry pieces like bracelet, necklace, rings, and so on that limits the Ar-Rahnu flexibility. However, it's not only just gold and jewelry. There are other types of goods that can still be mortgaged, such as land and property. But nowadays, presenting only the crucial documents of the property or land ownership might just do it as well. This is because the documents carry valuable information and documentation of the mortgage goods, so it can be pledged. And other types of paper that can be pledged are vehicle documentation and suku. Suku is kind of like certificates structured based on the specific contract of exchange of the Sharia compliant assets. And such contracts can be made through the sale and purchase of an asset based on immediate, instrumental, or deferred payment. And it depends on the consensus of the country's Islamic scholars regarding of what kind of goods can be mortgaged. In some countries, there can only be gold and jewelry for mortgage. And some other countries, they can take up any valuable and branded items like premium bicycle, vehicle, or property, and much more as the mortgage goods.
So, according to the issue and resolution that we have been discussed previously, we can conclude that the concept of ahrans is actually help the debtor and the creditor to guarantee the settlement amount. Plus, this concept of Ar-Rahnu is actually help to enhance the economy, and it actually brings the benefits to the society. However, with the issues and resolution that we have found for this concept, we can see that the Ahran concept is still needs some improvement. So overall, as a Muslim, we must avoid any uncertainty transactions when we want to have a loan, and wants to buy something, because as in Islam it's called girar, because this activity will lead us to sins, and actually it is prohibited in Islam. So I guess that's all from me and my group mate. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.